What if the making of The Passion of the Christ became a real-life spiritual war no one in Hollywood expected? Lightning strikes, torn flesh, shattered careers? Was the price of telling this story far more than just money? Welcome to Peace in Jesus. Today we uncover the supernatural events and heavy price paid to make The Passion of the Christ. This was not just a movie production, but a spiritual battleground where faith was tested against mysterious forces and physical agony. The story begins not with a script, but with a deep personal crisis that pushed director Mel Gibson to the very edge. In 2002, Gibson was facing a dark period, feeling a desperate need to tell the story of the sacrifice. He felt a sudden spiritual urge, a calling that demanded he film the final 12 hours of the life of Jesus Christ. However, Hollywood turned its back on him. Major studios like Fox and Paramount refused to touch the project, fearing financial disaster. They called it a career killer. Undeterred, Gibson decided to fund the entire $30 million budget from his own pocket. He took a massive risk by filming in dead languages like Aramaic and Latin, wanting to capture the raw authenticity of history. The next challenge was finding an actor brave enough to play Jesus. He found Jim Caviezel, who was exactly 33 years old. Gibson warned Jim immediately. He said that taking this role might end his career in Hollywood and he would never work again. Jim simply replied that we all have to carry our own crosses. He accepted the role, unaware of the pain awaiting him. Filming began in Italy, and almost immediately, strange and unexplainable events started to occur, shaking the skepticism of the film crew. The weather seemed to react to the scenes being filmed. Sudden storms would appear out of nowhere during the most intense moments. One day, while filming in a remote location, assistant director Jan Michelini was suddenly struck by lightning, shocking the entire production team. Miraculously, he survived with only minor burns. But the crew did not know that the lightning would return to strike again. Later, while Jim was on the cross for the crucifixion scene, lightning struck again, hitting both him and the assistant director. Witnesses said fire literally came from Jim's head. Smoke was seen coming out of his ears, yet he survived the strike. This terrifying event silenced the set. Many began to feel that they were part of something much larger than a movie. Jim later said that he felt a presence protecting him. He believed the devil was trying to stop the film's completion. The physical pain Jim endured was not acting. The cross he carried weighed 150 pounds, crushing his shoulder. During one take, the heavy cross dropped, separating his shoulder. The pain you see on his face in the film is real. He refused to stop filming. He wanted the audience to feel the visceral weight of the burden that Jesus carried for humanity. The scourging scene was even more brutal. A whipping post was set up, and the actors were told to miss Jim. However, mistakes happened. One of the soldiers accidentally struck Jim's back, tearing his skin and leaving a 14-inch gash. The shock was immense. Jim recalled that he could not breathe, the pain so intense that it knocked the wind out of him. Instead of quitting, Jim stood up. He offered his physical suffering as a prayer, blending his pain with the character he portrayed. The filming conditions were harsh. Shooting in winter with almost no clothes caused Jim to suffer from severe hypothermia and pneumonia. Doctors warned that his heart could stop. Yet Jim persisted, believing that suffering was necessary to convey the truth of the gospel. Every gasp for air on the cross was a struggle. His lung infection made it difficult to speak the final 7 words. The spiritual warfare felt real. The depiction of Satan in the movie added a layer of supernatural dread to the production. Amidst the pain and chaos, something beautiful began to happen. The atmosphere on set started to transform the hearts of the crew. People who were atheists or from other religions began to feel a profound change. They witnessed a love that they could not explain. One actor playing a guard, who was a committed atheist, broke down in tears after participating in the brutal crucifixion scenes. Daily masses were held on set. Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel attended every day before filming to center themselves in prayer. Jim said he did not want people to see him on the screen. He prayed daily that they would only see Jesus. Even the post-production team felt the weight. They worked with a reverence rarely seen in the fast-paced industry of Hollywood filmmaking. When the movie was released in 2004, it shocked the world. It became a massive global box office phenomenon. It grossed over $600 million. But for the men who made it, The personal cost was just beginning to manifest. As predicted, the industry turned cold. Mel Gibson was ostracized, treated as an outcast for making a film that was too Christian. Jim Caviezel also paid the price. The offers stopped coming. The rising star was suddenly ignored by the major casting directors. They were shunned for being too bold about their faith. Hollywood prefers safe entertainment, not movies that challenge the soul so deeply. Yet, Jim has no regrets. He often says that he would rather be unknown in this world than unknown to God. The film touched millions of lives. Stories poured in of conversions, restored marriages, and people finding hope in their darkest hours. Mel Gibson endured years of public scrutiny, but stood by his work. He proved that faith-based films could be high art. The Passion of the Christ remains the highest-grossing R-rated film in North America, a testament to the power of its message. The suffering on set was temporary, but the impact is eternal. It reminded the world of the brutal reality of sacrifice. Jim's career took a different path, one of purpose. He became a voice for truth, unafraid of the opinions of man. Their bond was forged in fire. They shared a burden that few could understand, united by a vision that transcended cinema. This story teaches us that following the truth often comes with a high price, but the reward is far greater than fame. The movie brought the Gospels to life. It forced viewers to confront the reality of what love actually looks like in action. Critically, it was a masterpiece. The cinematography resembled moving paintings, capturing the beauty and horror of the passion in every frame. But beyond art, it was a testimony of a director seeking redemption and an actor willing to suffer for it. Gibson has hinted at a sequel. He plans to explore the resurrection, promising another cinematic journey into the supernatural and divine. Jim continues to inspire a new generation. He challenges them to be warriors for their faith and to reject mediocrity. The production of The Passion of the Christ stands as a unique event in history. It blurred the line between acting and reality. It revealed that when God calls you to a mission, He does not promise safety. He promises His presence through the storm. The lightning strikes, the injuries, and the rejection were all part of the journey. They served to validate the film's spiritual power. Many left the theaters in silence. The film demanded a response, forcing everyone to decide where they stood with Jesus. Jim's humility on set left a mark. He treated everyone with kindness, even when he was in excruciating physical pain. For many believers, this film is not just entertainment. It is a visual meditation on the greatest sacrifice ever made. Mel Gibson's vision was vindicated. Despite the backlash, he created a legacy that continues to impact the world decades later. Jim famously said that playing Jesus ruined his acting career, but he has absolutely no regrets about taking that path. The glitz of Hollywood fades away, but the truth captured in those 11 weeks of filming will last for generations. The story of the making of this film is a modern miracle. It shows that God still works through imperfect people. They stood together against the tide. Their courage opened doors for other faith-based films to be made in the future. We must ask ourselves a question. Are we willing to suffer for what we believe in, just as they did? Their sacrifice challenges our comfort. It reminds us that true faith requires action, courage, and a willingness to endure pain. As we look back, we see that the obstacles were not accidents. They were evidence of the spiritual battle taking place. The Passion of the Christ was more than a movie. It was a global event that ignited conversations about God everywhere. Through the blood and tears, a message of hope emerged. A message that darkness can never overcome the light of truth. Mel Gibson found his redemption. By telling this story, he healed his own wounds and shared that healing with the world. Jim Caviezel remains a humble servant. He uses his platform to preach love and truth, staying true to his calling. The empty cross is the final symbol. It reminds us that after every Friday of suffering, there is a Sunday of glory. We owe a debt of gratitude to this brave team. They risked their reputations and safety to bring us this masterpiece. Let this story inspire you today. No matter what storms you face, know that you are protected by a higher power. Take a moment to reflect on your own journey. Are you carrying your cross with the same courage and faith? Share this message with others. The world needs to know the truth about the spiritual battle behind this iconic film. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope this deep dive has strengthened your faith and opened your eyes. Remember that the truth is often controversial. but standing for the truth is the most rewarding thing a person can do. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Your support helps us continue to share these powerful stories with everyone. May the peace of Jesus be with you always. Walk in faith and never be afraid to carry your own cross. Thank you for watching Peace in Jesus. May this story inspire your faith. Please subscribe and share this video with others. God bless you and see you in the next video. Peace be with you.